Now, Andrew's going to show you how to remove this shingle.
Oh.
Cool?
Yep.
Got what you need?
Yep. Good. I don't know what Coop said, so I'm just going to get my feel on this. I do this, I bracket it out, block it out, only from the slopes that take the damage. I'm just going to keep working my way around. Sometimes, guys, you don't even need to use a bar. Sometimes this thing, the glue will just be so unsealed that you can just walk up to it and like peel it up. Like, see? I can just lift this right off. So there's my 5 unsealed. But now I got to get these all unsealed too. So I got to do the same fucking thing. Start up here, work my way around. A putty knife or like a scraper works really good for this. Like you would scrape paint from.
Don't get a stiff one.
I'm also watching for damage to the shingles. So like I don't know if you guys caught that, but I almost put a hole in this trying to get this apart. Anytime I cause damage like that, I'm going to stop and I'm going to document it and take photographs to make sure that I have everything that I need.
Why? Why would he do that?
To show that in process of him trying to prove this right now, this is what happened. Or
Which is
repairability.
leads to what Keith just said, simple word, repairability.
Yeah.
And I've used the same method on every shingle that I've done, and this one I just tore. Right? So you can stop if you want. Circle in. Pull your camera out, take a picture if you want to. If you're using this like a bar like this, to Coop's point, they don't like these bars, so I probably wouldn't have that in the picture or anything along those lines, something like that. But I also am not trying to like totally fuck this thing up as I'm getting this out. This one's sealed down really, really well.
Hell yeah.
The reason I like this bar instead of this little fucking shithead bar that you have, you get these too, right?
Yeah, we got
blue
them.
ones. Yep. This little blue bar, man, I have no fucking leverage, and you notice it's how much easier to get my hands.
That's not the one I don't use.
That's even this one. It's still really easy to get my hands in there. It's not working well. The reason I like this big bar is I just have more leverage with it, or even like a paint scraper.
I mean, I'm not a pussy, so I never wear gloves.
Some of us don't want our fucking hands to be shredded in half.
Some of us still get fornication at home.
Some of us have man hands.
I'd love to put you in a pipe underground for a couple days and see how you do. Be totally fair.
Forget, I used to run conduit.
Conduit's different than a 400 foot pipeline, 200 feet in the ground.
Yeah, that is true.
Good.
All right, so I have what I want to pull unsealed. You guys notice like it's already starting to re-grab, like right there. Starting to re-seal, right? So all this is loose. I need to work with. Probably should get that one out too. Be on the safe side. Cool. Scoop's happy ass. What do you call that?
Destroyed that shingle.
Same thing, right? Not being aggressive, not trying to be like overly violent with it or anything like that. All right, take a picture, show it. Just using the same approach I've used for every single one. All right, what do we do now?
Come on, guys, speak up.
Lift up that top layer and start getting the nails out.
Okay. So like looking at this nail here, like that looks like it's gonna be kind of hard to get out. Everybody has their own approach to this, okay? My approach is I know I'm pulling the shingles. The only thing that I care about is getting the whole shingle. So to me, personally, I don't go through here with this pry bar and try to pop these nails out. What I do is I actually go up with my bar and I pop them out from the underneath side. Another reason why it's nice to have gloves on.
That's a good
I
thing.
just hit my finger really good on the side of the shingle.
See how it's pausing, pull through to get the shingle out?
Just trying to, that nail's right here. I know it's right there, right? And I'm just lifting it up, pulling it out, and it'll come out, okay? So that whole row of nails is out. The shingle's still not breaking free though. So like you guys know, see, like it's still there. So it's caught on that top row. The top row is a little bit harder. Now I gotta really drive my bar up in here to get it out. If I'm gonna do it my way. Or do the way that they were talking about, and go unseal another row and pull nails out if you want to. Take a photo, probably that corner, take a photo back so they can see, like, I have an abundance of photographs to show exactly where this is in this elevation, so they know exactly where it is. Does that make sense? Yep. That make sense? Okay. So, we know, based on how a shingle works, that there should be nails here, and there should be nails in this one that catch this top one. And because they get laid in a staggered pattern, I'm going to have to unseal more than just this. I'm going to have to probably unseal part of this one, some ones up there, just so I can get this little shithead out. So I like the big bar. Coop likes the little bar. I would advise every single person that is here to not pull a shingle unless there's rubs underneath. These edges right here are razor sharp, and if you do this and your hand catches it will cut your finger. I have
feed off of what Andrew just said.
I cut my hands all the time.
I don't like using the big bar because insurance companies will say that vandalize the shingle by using such a big bar. Which is why I use the little one like this.
I also say that the insurance company is not out here most of the time when I am doing this. So, and usually there's not somebody behind me recording this like Geo is. So, you know, if they're not out here, I'm going to use the fucking bar that I want to use that makes this easier. And I'm just going to keep working my way around. Sometimes, guys, you don't even need to use a bar. Sometimes this thing, the glue will just be so unsealed that you can just walk up to it and like peel it up. Like, see? I can just lift this right off. So there's my 5 unsealed. But now I got to get these all unsealed too. So I got to do the same fucking thing and start up here and work my way around. A putty knife or like a scraper works really good for this. Like you would scrape paint from.
Don't get a stiff one.
I'm also watching for damage to the shingle. So like, I don't know if you guys caught that, but I almost put a hole in this trying to get this apart. Anytime I cause damage like that, I'm going to stop and I'm going to document it and take photographs to make sure that I have everything that I need.
Why? Why would he do that?
To show that in process of him trying to remove this right now, this is what happened. Or
Which is
variability.
leads to what Keith just said, simple word, variability.
Yeah.
And I've used the same method on every shingle that I've done, and this one I just torn. Right? So you can stop if you want. Pull in. Pull your camera out, take a picture if you want to. If you're using this like a bar like this, to Coop's point, they don't like these bars, so I probably wouldn't have that in the picture or anything along those lines, or something like that. But I also am not trying to like totally fuck this thing up as I'm getting this out. This one is sealed down really, really well.
Hell yeah.
The reason I like this bar instead of this little fucking shithead bar that you have, you get these too, right?
Yeah, we got
blue
it.
ones. Yep. This little blue bar, man, I have no fucking leverage, and you notice it's how much easier to get my hands.
That's not the one I don't use.
That's even this one. It's still really easy to get my hands in there. It's not working well. The reason I like this big bar is I just have more leverage with it, or even like a paint scraper.
I mean, I'm not a pussy, so I never wear gloves.
Some of us don't want our fucking hands to be shredded in half.
Some of us still get fornication at home.
Some of us have man hands.
Uh-huh. I'd love to put you in a pipe underground for a couple days and see how you do. Be totally fair.
Forget, I used to run conduit.
Conduit's different than a 400 foot pipeline, 200 feet in the ground.
Yeah, that is true.
Good.
All right, so I have what I want to pull unsealed. You guys notice like it's already starting to regrab, like right there, starting to reseal, right? So all this is loose. I need to work with. Probably should get that one out too. Be on the safe side. Cool. Happy ass. What do you call that?
Destroyed that shingle.
Same thing, right? Not being aggressive, not trying to be like overly violent with it or anything like that. Right? Take a picture, show it. Just using the same approach I've used for every single one. All right, what do we do now?
Come on, guys, speak up.
Lift up that top layer and start getting the nails out.
Okay. So like looking at this nail here, like that looks like it's gonna be kind of hard to get out. Everybody has their own approach to this, okay? My approach is I know I'm pulling the shingles. The only thing that I care about is getting the whole shingle. So to me, personally, I don't go through here with this pry bar and try to pop these nails out. What I do is I actually go up with my bar and I pop them out from the underneath side. Another reason why it's nice to have gloves on.
Yeah, that's a good
I
thing.
just hit my finger really good on the side of the shingle.
See how he's pausing, pull through to get the shingle out?
Just trying to, that nail's right here. I know it's right there, right? And I'm just lifting it up, pulling it out, and it'll come out, okay? So that whole row of nails is out. The shingle's still not breaking free though. So like you guys know, like it's still there. So it's caught on that top row. The top row is a little bit harder. Now I gotta really drive my bar up in here to get it out. If I'm gonna do it my way. Or do the way that they were talking about, and go unseal another row and pull nails out if you want to.
Guys, I personally do it this way. I take that same bar that I broke the sealers with, get the corner of the other end, get underneath the nail, and block it right out.
This is just like a dance right here is all this is for me. Just trying to dance with the shingle.
This way I get a really full, I don't have to worry. Not leaving nails behind and catching them. That's the difference in the two methods. Choose what works best for you. More than one way to skin a cat, right?
It also depends on how long the nails these assholes use when they put the fucking roof on. That one. That one. That one.
Well, the nails are out, pulled up. He should be able to pull that shingle out, right? But because he didn't pull the nails, it's getting caught. That's another difference.
There it is.
Again, decide what works best for you. I'm not gonna.
They call that a shadow line. That black line.
Just give it more like dimension to
This
it.
is the line that fucks with you guys on a roof thinking the shingles creep. Because these granulars wear away. Right? To be totally fair. Do what I do. Right? But that line will wear away. And you'll think it's a wind crease. And it's not. You guys can honestly see how easy it is to make that illustration.
It's perfect.
What am I forgetting? A couple things I'm forgetting, actually. I'm also going to take pictures this time after I pull it, right? I also want to look at the shingle and see how it came apart.
What is that called?
The mat transfer. That's the transfer from the seal failing. It's like tearing a chunk of the shingle out.
So where's the other end of? Where's the other side of that at?
Still up there.
Up there?
See right there?
See those chunks?
Right there. Or right here.
So if an adjuster goes up there and looks at what your wind damage and finds nothing but a bunch of mat transfer, what do you think he's going to consider that?
Vandalism.
Vandalism.
I don't like mat transfer. I don't like it. I got a problem though. My problem is I gotta do some of those nails up there. What do you guys think? Okay. What would be the pros and cons of both of those strategies?
You leave them in it.
If I leave them in, it can tear the tarps.
If you take them out, you could, it's making holes that could invite water.
Okay? Got two answers. Which one's right? Which one's wrong?
Say hammer it down because you're not removing the nail
Okay.
You might get the rib cap. You're gonna put that or something.
Looking the way cap nails, I'd be impressed if you got to nail that far back there. To be totally honest with you. What about my tarp? When I tuck my tarp,
How
Yeah,
far
but
out does this
the
tarp
way-
have to go?
Up to that next
Second
shingle.
row.
definitely the tarp needs to go as far as I fuck with, right? So if I leave that nail in, is that tarp gonna go past that nail?
Nope.
So it's a good idea if you can to pull them out. You can hammer them back in. That's not the end of the absolute world. But I personally do like to pull them. That way I can get my tarp in past that point.
What's another good reason to pull them out? Aside from just the tarp?
So they don't end up in the neighbor's or in the driveway.
Maybe.
They fall out.
So you can recycle your nails, guys.
Come on, guys, aren't you green thumbs?
What happens if I decide that I need to come in here and do a repairability video and now I need to reinstall a shingle where I just pull one from?
Oh.
Would those nails be good there?
Ow, they're in your way.
Well, why are they in the way?
You gotta drive over the other.
Well, can't I just take the shingle that I'm installing and trim a couple inches off so I don't have to worry about it?
Nope.
Why not?
Compromise with the shingle.
I should have a photo in my file that shows me how big the shingle is for this roof, so I know that, right, at the back of my truck. Even as I'm getting ready to go up here, I can flip through my phone and go, cool, I'm going up to this one. This is a 36-inch 3-tab. So I got that photo, I know what that is. Or this is the designer grade shingle, right? So I know it's 5 tabs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need about 40 inches of tarping if I want to cut it to the exact width of the shingle. Personally speaking, I like my tarp to fit inside my box. People like Coop and other guys, they like it to be about an inch outside the box.
I
want
use
it.
the width of the roll.
I don't. I cut it to fit the hole, personally. Everybody can use it how they want to.
The only difference is the amount of trash you have left floating around in the bed of your truck.
It is. Luckily, you
'Cause
don't
when
have to
you-
worry about that because it's literally the length of our roll.
Have you ever
If you
rhino?
cut it to fit, you're going to have an inch or so that you trim off that you'll have to throw away somewhere.
The reason I like to
don't.
cut it to fit is because I got to get that thing tucked up underneath here. And if my shit's wide as fuck out here, then I got to fuck with it to get it to lay flat as I tuck it in, right? So I already have it cut, ready to go before I even get on the roof. Not to mention, I know the exposure, right? So I know this way. So not only do I have the width measurement, but I have the height measurement as well. So I know that my shingle, my exposure on this is 7.5 inches. So I got to cover this tab and a little bit down. So I need 15 plus 2 inches. So I'm going to cut this to be, 40 inches wide for the length plus, 19, 20 inches. So that way, when I tuck my physical tarp, it gets up underneath where I can see the felt, to that nail line, right? The next nail line. And then it can come down and hang down about halfway down this tab for my box. Does that make sense? You don't need this thing to be 16 feet past. You don't want it to be. You want it to be controlled to the area you work.
All of you drive cars and or SUVs, right? Yeah. For me, I open the tailgate and I lay my roll in the
Crease between the tailgate and the
between
body.
tailgate and the bed, and I pull it out and the exact length of my tailgate cut, and it's perfect size for me every time.
Need to buy a
So
truck?
you'll have to find something to use as your perfect measurement every time, and just use it every time. Now,
You
John
can use it
Penza, he put a bar in the back of his Jeep and has his paper hanging. He can legitimately open the back of his Jeep and just pull some down, cut, he's done. You guys have to find what works best for you. Sorry.
So here's the question. When I put this tarp in, do I put it in this way or this way?
With the words up.
Why?
That's how I've always seen it installed.
Anybody got a better answer? give you the technical answer after you guys come up
This
here.
side seems less likely to stick to the roof.
I mean, we're going to use cap nails, and it's not designed to stick, quote unquote.
This is a UV barrier,
Hey,
and this is a waterproof barrier.
Okay.
Look at my guy. Good answer. This underlayment is a UV barrier on this side, not so much on this side. Okay? So always keep the lettering up. It can be a little annoying sometimes if you get the blue one, because the blue one's a little brighter and everything like that. And all you guys are going to do here is you guys are just going to work this tarp up. These things wide. And you can just filter it on in. But I'm taking photographs the whole time I'm doing this, guys. You just work it up. It's nothing crazy. It's super easy. This is another nice place to have gloves, right? As you're going through this, so you don't cut your hands and shit like that. Just work
How
it
far up does he take it?
The next
nail
nail
line.
The nail line is the above shingle.
And why is that?
That's to create the shingling effect. Is that what it's called?
Shingling effect. Okay.
Shingling a ding dong.
But why does sliding it underneath that top shingle? Why is sliding it so far up important?
You gotta keep from the water intrusion.
Water intrusion from where?
The next shingle up. Seams. Getting in like
The
in
seams
between.
in between the tabs. Absolutely.
That's the biggest thing, is you guys got to get this thing tucked up far enough so that way you don't see the exposure between the two. So right now, like where I have mine, this is good. Okay? And then I'm going to start to nail it down. Everybody's got their own method here too. Some people like to nail through the shingles. Some people don't. I am the creature of habit, and they're already paying for this one because I fucked it up during the removal, right? So if I nail through it, they got to pay for it, but I'm already getting to pay for it. Personally speaking, I do not like to nail through the shingle. I like to nail under the shingle, and I use that to show repairability.
So let me ask you guys a question. Why does that show repairability?
Because he has to bend the shingle up in order to put the cap nail in.
Absolutely.
Right? So I got to get shows repairability. Right? If I'm holding this up, driving a nail, and then I let go and I got a crease, well, that repair just failed because I have to be able to hold it at a 90-degree angle or however much is the nailing line, right? So you can use it for repairability if you want to, or some people just literally will take caps and they'll just go right through the top of these and nail them down. Don't be egregious here. You don't need 1,000 nails. Like, you don't have to have, you see like literally the holes on the belt. I could literally put one here, one here, one here, one here, one here, one here, and 2 in the middle, and I'm done. Put 8 nails in this, and that'll be plenty. You don't need to be egregious, guys. Okay? But every nail that I drive now pays for another shingle, right around this too. So now they got to pay for this one, this one, this one, this one, and then this one because of the nails in it.
So how many did that one shingle repair? How many did he just get bought?
6.
6. You're going to do a repair attempt. You're going to attempt repairing this roof. And how do you do that? Do you do that by ripping the whole side off and trying to roof it yourself? No.
Take the next shingle off.
You do it by removing your tarp and reinstalling a shingle, because that way, if it does match, if repairability does, it is repairable, the homeowner don't have a tarp on their roof forever. Does that make sense? So now you're going to go back up to the roof right where you pulled your eye-tail. You're going to mark it for repairability, and you're going to pull your tarp out and reinstall a shingle. And Andrew will show you how that's done.
Before you have to actually install it, if the carrier just says, go up there and take photos for me, showing me that shingle doesn't look good, where it goes. Anybody got a clever idea, a way to do that, so you don't have to actually install it?
Put it.
Just
Put it in.
slide it up in there, right?
Slide in, right? Just slide that little shithead in there. But that can be kind of a problem, because what if they want to see it on multiple elevations? Then you can see the top half and they put your pictures on. Think about it. What else could you do? How about you cut the fucker in half? So, what's to stop me from going up here cutting that shit right across. Then I can literally take the shingle anywhere I want on that roof and just put it right here to show how it looks. If they want to see it on multiple slopes or anything like that with a dimensional or a tweet tab, you could literally just cut that fucker and just take it around and set it right there. See how it works out there. That's for matching purposes only.
Now, me personally, for matching, I take 3 shingles up with me, stagger them, step back, take a photo in multiple locations.
Now,
Multiple ways to do it.
that I would use that method if they wanted me to just put one shingle in or they paid for one. If I'm doing full-blown matching, I'm doing it the way Cookie said. I'll bring 7, 8, 9 of these little shitheads up here and lay them down to show patterns.
So this is because you have a brand new shingle. This is supposing you have a brand new shingle because you just went to the supply house.
Yep.
Because you have a full bundle. You had to buy a full bundle to get one.
Yeah.
So that's why you're saying if you got it in half. Once for one,
Sure.
save you some money.
Good. If I, like I said, if I gotta take 5 of these things to show matching, I'm cutting that in half. I'm just gonna lay 5 of them out somewhere on the roof and move on.
Now, that being said, one more little tip. There are multiple times you'll go to the supply house and you'll get a bundle of shingles. You open it up, the shingles are wet. You have to let them dry before you take matching photos.
Or sometimes it looks really good. It doesn't match when you're red when you're wet.
Exactly.
Dude,
So you gotta be very, very careful. If the insurance company says that shingle looks wet, we need you to do it again.
So, do the repair. I'm going to do this differently. You guys want to stay away from the word attempt when you talk about repairs. Why? If I were to send a carrier an email and says, I am going to attempt this repair on this day, how does that sound? Or I'm just assuming it's going to fail. Right? Keep that word attempt out of here. We've scheduled the repairs for this day. I will be sending in repair documentation following my repair.
I use the phrase, in my efforts to repair this, blah, blah, blah.
That word attempt out of your mouth. Bad word. Okay? So when you guys come back out here, you guys will have your tarp in here, so you have to remove it. Assume I already removed the tarp. You know, you can just put a big R up here if you want. That works. Helps me repair. I like to write stuff off to the side, like BT. What's that stand for?
Brittle test.
Brittle test. So, and then before I do anything else, what do?
Check the temperature. Make sure it's above 42 degrees rising.
42 degrees and rising on temperature. And I'm going to like my watch, like when I wear my Apple Watch, it tells me the temperature on it. Take a picture of my watch, I can screenshot my phone, that's a date, whatever.
I do the screenshot and everybody makes fun of me because I sent people a picture of me and my wife.
The other part of that too is I'm going to take an overview photo of this area so they can see the condition before I started my work. Right? So they'll be able to see exactly where I'm at. You know, I may circle shit that's already here, like, you know, mat transfer, it's already here. You know, I could point to my nails that are existing if I want to. Like, there's all sorts of shit you can document. You can take a quick video, you can say, you know, we're out here at the Joneses at blah, 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 claim number 12579. I'm going to go ahead and proceed with the repairs prescribed by Nationwide Insurance on the east elevation. It is a 1 shingle repair. We will be removing our tarp that we put in for the identification process of the shingle. So, you know, tarp has been removed. I am now going to install the new product. Once it's done, I will, you know, provide supporting documentation after I've done it. Different ways you can word that, you know. But did you once again notice, I didn't say the word repair attempt, anything like that. I didn't acknowledge any of that shit. I'm just giving a summary of what I'm doing. This is actually pretty easy though, guys. You know, I got my nails out. They're in there, a couple of them. It's not going to make a big deal. I'm just going to drive next to them. Now we're going to reinstall and move on. So I can just slide my shingle up. That's why those nails are sitting down. Slide my shingle up where it needs to go.
But Andrew, how do you line the shingle up right?
How do I line the shingle up right? Great question. What do you guys think? That's a great answer. Look around, right? Look around, make sure the neighbors are straight. Line up the bottoms, line up the seam. usually lined up, and then you can also usually see where the kind of the imprint was from the shingle before it hasn't been there. And that kind of goes close.
I asked that a lot because I've legitimately had reps call me and ask me that. Like, what I'm doing.
You're looking at it, not me, man.
How do I know it's lined up right?
Don't be an idiot.
Now from here, it's actually really easy. So who's got the pitch gauge? Look at all. So you guys can't go above a 90-degree angle when nailing this in. Okay? And I already forgot what shingle I put in this one. So what I'm going to do is I can go more than that if I want to, can I?
Yeah.
Weigh the shit up here. Now, realistically speaking, that's a shit ton. You can lift that shingle up. Right? Probably don't need to go that far. But I can, in good faith, swing my hammer and hit that nail line pretty easy. If I send a picture like this of this shingle and try to claim repairability, that carrier's probably going to laugh at me. They will, in all fairness. But if I send one like this, because I'm still driving a nail straight down into the shingle, not horizontal with the earth, Eli, then this will go much further with them.
Eli, I want you to say. I was leaving it alone.
I didn't bring up your tarping fiasco either.
I was leaving
Right?
it alone.
I'm going to look for my nail line in the shingle.
All in the past.
Wherever my nail line is where I want to drive these nails at. So some of these shingles, it'll be very easy to see. You'll see like an actual nail line in the shingle. That's where you want these nails to go. That's where you're installing it. There's no point in putting it where it doesn't need to go, right? Is this your scoop?
Yeah.
You smoking up here? Okay. Just checking on you. So I just can see where it went. Just drive a nail straight home and I'm done. Right? It's pretty easy. How many nails go in a shingle?
10.
How many nails go in each nailing line? 4 to 6. Failure points, anything like that that you want to document. You know, if you got a tear, like let's say that that happens during the process. Now I circle it. Oh, right here. Put like an F next to it. Fail. Take a picture. All these kind of things, right?
I like to hear where you are. Out there.
Yeah, right here. I already got a tear right here.
Wow, Mr. Contractor, that looks pretty close to the original shingle you have.
What trumps what? The repair being done properly or the color matching?
There.
Repair matters.
It don't matter if it looks the same.